Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. Let me just get my Stencil Smith apron on. And as you're hopping on, please say hello and welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday, so we're doing our live. Let me just get my other device. I got 3 devices here. Anybody who does lives now knows that, okay, there we go. That's much better. Maybe. So let me get this other device. As you're hopping on, say hello. I'm so sorry. It's like, come on, Face ID. It's not recognizing my face. Okay, there we go. So let me just get this device up here and hope that we'll have comments. Oh, yay. Fingers crossed, it really worked this time. I'll swipe these away. I'm excited to be here. We're gonna do the stained glass Santa today. We've had a lot of requests for that. So welcome, welcome. Hello, boy. Hello, Rena, Kimberly, Judy, Cindy, Vicky, Sherry, Heather, Catherine, welcome all. Like I said, we're going to do the stained glass Santa today. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know if you're watching live or on replay. Hello, April. So the stencil we're going to be doing, as you're hopping on, first of all, please do this. Make sure to sprinkle, which means to do this. And write sprinkled in the comments. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? Hey, Pete. How are you? I'm so excited. Pete, who's here with us, he's the one who hand drew this stained glass stencil, and he has hand drawn all of them. He's so talented. So he had a couple minutes to hop on, which is really nice. So this is the giveaway today. Look how cute that is. It's peace, love, joy with the little buffalo check. Hi, Paula. Hi, Arlene. Christmas tree, and it is stencil number 7138, and it's a 7.25 inch one. Oh, thank you. You know what, this used to be my son's shirt, and when he moved away after he got out of college, it's one of the shirts he didn't take. I guess he felt he'd outgrown it, but I love the Ghostbusters and love the movie. You know, it was one of those ones, I think it came out probably when I was in high school or maybe just graduating, something like that. But anyhow, it's a fun shirt. Who's afraid of those ghosts? Ghostbusters. I'm not afraid of those ghosts. That's what it is. That was his favorite movie. He loved this movie so much that he went and got a Ghostbuster tattoo on, like this exact Ghostbuster tattoo when he was young. So but anyhow, hello. So this is the giveaway today. Make sure to write sprinkled in the comments so we know that you did sprinkle, because not everybody, I don't know where this 0 or O came from. I'll just set it to the side. But anyhow, this is the number of the stencil. It's 10228. And I got the large. I would recommend, unless you want to do this on a piece of sand ply, getting the medium. I meant to order the medium, but as so often happens with me, I mess up. So I am doing a large, and I had to improvise. And I actually had something that I was going to take to my son's when we go in November to visit him, and so he's going to get a stained glass Santa on the other side that I had done from a project earlier. So I got the large, but I would totally recommend, hi Susan, how are you? So I would definitely recommend getting the medium. I am doing the large, but the large will not fit very well on a 1x12. So, yes, it's a good size. It's a good size for the 1x12. And it will fit, but you won't get that nice black border with the large. You have to cut a bigger size, and I don't think they make anything bigger than a 1x12. So make sure to sprinkle. That's the stencil. It's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. If you use my code, which I forgot to point out, I think, right there, SignShack, SIGNSHACK, you'll save an additional 15%. And anytime you, the measurements of the large, yes, I can give it to you. But anytime you order, you can save 15% with that code right there. Hi, Jean, how are you? So this is the stencil. I'm going to use some extra snowflakes today. I'll just set them over here. But look how beautiful this stencil is. And this is my overlay, his little eyeballs that will come taped to it. So there's 2 overlays. And this is the giveaway for the sprinkling. So I'm going to set my overlay over here so I don't lose it because it's a little one. So I'm going to set my sign over to sprinkle, but this is the Santa right here. Look how gorgeous that is. And he's going to fit right in there on my frame. So this is, I did a really pretty project in, look how gorgeous that is. I did a really great project last spring, and I'll flip it over to show you. I had to take the bunny tail off, and this one I intended to take to my son because they have bunnies. They have Salt and Pepper, I think, right now. Salt and Pepper, or no, that's not their name. I forget. They're black and white though, but they're really cute. They're really, really cute bunnies. So I made this last year, and I made the frame for it. But I got one of these little fuzzy things I put on my gnome hats, and I had this taped here. Well, I thought I had the medium stencil, and I didn't, so I had to improvise. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I didn't have time to run to Home Depot and get more sand ply, and I'm like, you know what, I have that. So I had to take the tail off. I'll re-glue it afterwards. So it would have been all wonky trying but the stencil, Donna, if that's what you were asking, the large is 21 length and 13 wide. So, you know, a 1x12 is only 11.25 inches. So see, it doesn't fit. So I am making do with this board right here. So we got to improvise when we can. I'm going to angle you down, and he fits right in there, and it's like a custom frame that I made. I'm really quite proud of it. But so now they're going to get not only the Easter Bunny, but they're going to get a flip side, and they're going to get the Santa stencil here, and he just fits in there. So I am going to start, and I am going to start, and it's just a little long. I should have trimmed it just a hair with my trimmer before the, I'll just have to hold it down up here. So I would recommend getting the medium. Don't do like me unless you want to go the large, or yeah, I recommend the medium. So I'm going to center this because I did move it over. And if I was doing this normally, I would not have this frame attached, but since it's already glued there, I'm having to make do. So ignore that, and I'm just centering it in my board, and I'm going to take some gray, some DecoArt slate gray, and I am just going to lay down, because as I have told you in the past, and if you're new to stenciling, when you're stenciling on black or a very dark color, you want to base coat it with something light. I like gray a lot. You can use white, and I could use white because I have a lot of the beard in white, but I'm going to use gray today. So you just get a little bit of paint on your brush, which I didn't show you, and I normally do, and I've offloaded it. So let's offload it there. So you can see I've taken a lot of the paint off, and I'm doing this upside down so it can go towards you. And I'm going to just start swirling all around, and like I said, I'm doing this initial base coat in gray, and it makes the other colors pop. If you just do gray, did I lose my shop towel already? Okay, I must have. So I like to offload on shop towels. I don't know what I did with my shop towel. They're very absorbent. You can, oh, I had it the wrong way. You can open them, you can get the inside. They work really well. So I'm gonna go at it with this 1/2 inch brush. I could have used probably the 5/8 brush and it would have been fine. And I'm just going, and I'm gonna be swirling. And you do wanna paint a black background for these stained glass because it really, really makes it pop. I'm having to kind of hold these down in here because it's just a tad too big for this frame. But this would look beautiful on a 1x12. And if you did a 1x12, well, it's on sale today, Angelia. This is which I still haven't got. I made this for my mom. And we did this in a live last year. And I still haven't sealed it and taken it out to my mom. I was going to put it at her grave. But this is the stained glass, the Cardinal. And if you order, this was a medium. So this is on a 1x12. So if you order the medium, I was gonna add some really cool, like Merry Christmas to all or something like that down here. So you can add words at the bottom and make it even just a little bit longer. It won't go under the edge, no, Judy. It's sealed pretty good. I will make do, but thank you. So we're just going to do this. So if you order the medium, you can do that, which is really nice. So I do goofy stuff like that when I order sometimes. Usually I'm better about the size, but I was not this time. And then I tell my dad all the time, like, I throw you under the bus, Dad, but my dad was in the hospital again about, not last week, but the week before last for about a week. So I was all scatterbrained, which I'm scatterbrained to begin with. I don't know if anybody else is like that. We had friends come over Sunday and I'm like, I feel like the older I get, the worse I'm getting. You know what I mean? I think it's just you have so many things on your plate. It's a lot. And then when my dad was in the hospital, the week before that, my one grandson was sick, so we had him almost all week. And then my dad was in the hospital, and then the next week, my other grandson was sick, so we had him all week because Jenny works, so, you know, she can't really take any time off. She has to save that for if she's sick, so. Boy, us grandparents, we're good to our kids, right? Sorry, I didn't have that in very good. Thank you to Judy Rogers for... Oh, well, welcome, Kathleen. We're glad to have you. You are too, Janet. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. And that's like I posted some recipe I made, I think it was last week. I don't know, but it's really good. There's two cookbook people that I follow, Well Plated and Skinny Taste, and their recipes are amazing. And I didn't want to post the recipe because I didn't feel like it was respectful of the lady. But I was going to send it to some people that had asked for it, and just like by messenger. But I haven't done that yet. So if you're watching, you did message me. I do intend to do it. I'll try to do it after the live. I forget a lot of stuff. I leave the house and honest to God, I have Post-it notes telling me, taped to my dashboard, like I gotta do this, 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 this. So I'm just swirling this in here just so we get it a nice good base started. And that's where you want to start with your dark. Whoops, I missed some berries there. Get a couple there. I think I got the whole thing now. Stop being such a pain. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this aside, and you can always put your, I'm actually probably, I don't think I'm going to need this, but I don't know. Never say never. This is going to be one of those where there's going to be a lot of brushes to clean when you're done. And I think I'm going to start with like the Santa's red. I think. The red of his outfit and stuff. And so these can get confusing. Now, just know that I have a cheat sheet in front of me to look at. I am not, I'm not that like all amazing. Like you look at it and you think, oh yeah, I would know where everything goes, but trust me, it can end up not being that way. And I think with the red, I could probably get away with a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use, I'm pretty sure I'm using all Deco Arts paints today. And I'm going to use Deco Arts Santa Red there. So if you're listening, maybe make a list. But if you don't know, if you're new, like we just had somebody, I don't know if you're new to me or new to the Stencil Smith, Kathleen, but the Stencil Smith is a company that has been around for 19 years, I think. 2006. And so let me just, I got to concentrate here. I'm going to do the berries. Let's do the berries. They've been around since 2006, so next year will be their 20-year anniversary. That's what it is. When you're stenciling upside down and you're talking and everything else, you can really mess things up. So, and I'm just offloading in between. The biggest trick to stenciling is get your paint on your brush, and you'll see, if you're new to stenciling, you'll have a little bit, it might be like a little globby looking. You don't want a whole bunch, you just really need it on the tip of your brush. You don't need your whole brush dunked in it. Get a good shop towel. You can use a paper towel. You can use this craft paper. You can use coffee filters. Paper plates don't work that well because they're slick and they don't absorb very well. So you might end up with more paint than you need. So let me get these berries, because they're going to be red, the little holly berries. And then we're going to go to his, so these are leaf. So I'm going to start on the Santa, and this may be a long live, and I do apologize for it. This is his beard here. That's his beard, I do believe. No, that's not his beard. Hold on a minute. I'm looking. This can be really difficult. Beard. That is part of the Santa. Right there. So these two are part of the Santa. But anyhow, they have been around for that long, if you can believe that. Okay, so those are all holly right there, the leaves. So this is going to be part of like the fur of his little jacket here and the border. So we've got the holly leaves here. So let's get some more Santa over here. And it's going to be, that's a leaf, so that's part of his, and that's part of his jacket, and that's going to be part of his jacket. And then it's only paint. Like if you mess up, it is just really paint, that's all. I know. like April's been a little nervous about me doing it. The stained glass ones can be hard to do on live. Like I had thought about doing the Frankie one on live, and we had kind of talked about it. That one would have even way more colors than this. It's, that's part of his beard. Okay. I gotta look at it here. I've gotta look at it towards me. Beard, beard. That's gonna be Sky right there. And that's gonna be Sky. Okay. So sorry to move him around there on you. And I'm gonna do, this is gonna be like his fur part here. So this and this here is going to be red. So it's kind of like a paint by numbers almost. And then you do, what makes it look so cool is you do the shading, which really brings it out. And this here is the red. And I'm going to do these corners red too. And I think this is going to be just beautiful. These stained glass designs are so pretty. And with just the nicest amount of highlighting, you can really bring them to life. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to start probably, I think, on the blue, because there's a lot of blue. So let's start with the blue. So I decided, I went back and forth with a lot of blues, and I ended up settling on this Victorian blue. Do I know if it's gonna look really great? I don't know. In my head, when I was doing color swatches, not swatches, it really looked nice. But, so this is Victorian blue. And these are all Deco Arts, I believe. So this blue here we're going to do, and we're going to highlight it with some purple. So let's get another brush here. Probably going to try a 1/2 incher, I think. And all these around here, and you don't have to do my color. I am doing what April and Pete, when you can totally do your own colors, okay? That's the thing. But when April and Pete do their mock-up, when she does her mock-up and posts it to the site, lots of times those colors are just so nice. She's put a lot of thought into them. And I mean, I do go outside of what she does. You know, it's always fun to experiment and stuff like that. But stuff like this, when there's so many colors, lots of times I stick right to her color coordination. But yeah, I was looking, somebody the other day wanted me to do the colors for the, well, they wanted me to do the Halloween, and I did have every intention of doing it, but I simply just ran out of time. And so I put together like a little color list for her, and my goodness, there are a lot of colors going on that. I had every intention of doing like one side I was going to do the Halloween one, then I was going to do the Santa on the other side, because I was going to keep these for myself, but now this is going to go to my son because it's got the bunny on the other side. And they are bunny people. They love their bunnies. And plywood, if you do, this is that sand ply from Home Depot, and it's a 1/4 inch, and it is rather kind of a drier wood. It really absorbs the paint, so you might want to put like a primer on it, which I did not. It might be helpful. No, this one here is the gold color. The outside one's blue sherry. At least I think so. And if it's not, you know what? It is now. But like I said, it's only paint. If you don't like something, you can go back and you can go over it. It's that simple. Just fix it the way you want it. So I'm going to start doing the blues in here. So here are the leaves. And so these are going to be blue like around the leaves. And I've done that before. I know I was doing one, I think it was the Nativity stained glass. I think that might have been one of the very first ones that Pete designed. I can't remember if it was or not, but it was really amazing. And yeah, this is all blue here. And I did part of the, see, this is a leaf, that's a leaf, and that's a leaf. And you can print the picture out and just kind of look at it. Or just go for it and know that you can just paint right over it. It's not a big deal. And so these are the leaves here. So let's get that blue in there. And I think we'll go back and do another coat of red and then another coat of blue. And hopefully we'll just need 2 coats. That is the thing with stenciling. You use just a little bit of paint because technically you're dry brushing, and so you don't get bleeds. So you do have to go back over your paints, and this will look like a mess kind of until you lift it. So don't get discouraged when you're doing like, ooh, that looks kind of strange, but it's all the beauty is when you do the big reveal at the end. It's so pretty. So that's Beard. And like I said, if I did something, but on that Nativity one, I remember I was doing something and Sherry told me, you messed up, and she was correct. So we got some blue. I don't think we have any blue down here. The blue Beard. Oh, we do have some blue here underneath his little palm. Okay, so let's go back and do the red because like I said, we're gonna need another coat of this. And I just saw that I'm kind of out of the camera there, and I apologize when that happens. Let's see, I don't know why, if I have my board wonky here or what the deal is. Hold on a minute. Goodness, there we go. I'm trying to get the whole thing in, but yet have it close enough where you can see it. So again, like I said, I am doing the large, but I really wanted to do the medium. So if you're wanting to stay on like just simple wood, you want to get the, you definitely want to get the medium. So let's get that red in there, his hat. I haven't really used this Santa's red very often. It's really pretty. I usually use Fort York red from Fusion Mineral is what I would be using. But I'm trying to stay with all Deco Arts colors today. So if you guys want to do a like color list, which I will try to list the colors after the live, then you'll have them. But you could also write them as you go. So I'm going to get in there with that. And you do have smaller brushes. I'm trying to use this bigger brush and just be kind of speedy about it, I guess you could say. Is the blue, is that blue on the bottom below the beard? Let's see. I think, no, this is red, and there's 2 blues underneath the hat. This is his little pom-pom. If I mess something, I'll go back and fix it. So we're just getting this other coat of red on here. And I think 2's gonna be plenty. And we are gonna go back and we're gonna, yeah, Judy, so that cardinal I showed you, I'm pretty sure that's the one she's done. She has had so many orders for it. She said she thinks she's on number 14. That has been a huge seller for her. They have the sunflower one. They have the nativity one. I think my friend Tammy Keck, she did a lot of the nativity round ones. And I think she sold a whole bunch of those. It was pretty amazing. So we're just starting with the reds and blues here. And I think I'm getting them all in the right place. And I do like to swirl. I'm a swirler. It's very therapeutic to me, I think, to swirl. Okay, so we're going to go back and do another coat of blue, and then we'll move on. Okay. And this is Victorian blue. And I hope it works. Like I said, I went through quite a few blues before I landed on this one, and I don't think I'd ever even used this blue before, but it seemed pretty nice. And the thing about when you're dry brushing, your paint is so thin that when you put it on, if you're doing something like this where you're doing a lot of spaces or a lot of things, it's typically dry. You don't have to dry, but it's typically dry when you go back on it. And if I miss any comments, I apologize. I do miss things. It goes so quickly. And yeah, it's a really pretty blue, isn't it, Judy? The comments go by really quickly sometimes, and I do miss things, but you can always message me. I try to get back to you as soon as I can. So the Stencil Smith also, I was telling you a little about them, that this is their 20th year, or going to be their 20th year in 2026, of business. And they're a husband and wife team, so they're a true small business in that sense of the word. Everything's made in the USA, from their Mylar. They cut all their stencils right on site. So if you order it today, this probably comes in at least 3 sizes. It may come in more. I don't know for certain. But they usually come in multiple sizes. You pick a size that works for you. Now, when they say image size, so this would be the image size where the image stops. But the stencil size is the outer edges of the stencils, so you can always see if it will fit your board or whatever you're planning for. That's a good way. That's how I usually go by. And like I said, I bought this and I was like, well, shoot, I should have got the medium. But I think this will be really pretty when it's done. I think it's going to be beautiful. And the frame will make it look really professional. Like I said, I would just never have put this frame on. I just didn't plan on this. This is a perfect example of when I say make do with what you have. Make do with what you have. We've been working on a deck too. We tore down our front stairs. Blueprint for a new, we have an enclosed porch, but we have front steps going up to that. And the ones we had before were old. He had built them in 1988 when we pretty much first moved in here. and we knew nothing about anything. I think he might have cut a lot of his stuff, like not even with a saw, with like hand saw and a vise or something like that. I don't even know. You know how it is when you're first starting out and you don't, if you use this outside, yes, I would definitely coat it with, the one I use most often is this one right here. Rust-Oleum, 2 times, and I like the matte. They have different finishes, but I like a matte finish. So, but Rust-Oleum 2 times Ultra Cover Matte Clear. You can buy it at Home Depot's where I get mine. I'm sure you can get it most anywhere, maybe even on Amazon. We just happen to have a Home Depot like right in town. So that's why I go there more often than not. But I do like Lowe's a little bit better than Home Depot, but I have to drive about 10 miles to go there, so Home Depot's like I could walk there, it's so close. I wouldn't want to carry all the lumber home, but it's that close, so. It's within probably like a mile and a half, something like that. Maybe a mile. Okay, so we got our blue. I think I've done 2 coats on everything. I'm gonna take a little peek here. Ooh, looking cute. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Let's move on to the white of his beard. The white of his beard. Oh, that's awesome, Donna. Hi, Cindy, how are you? I hope you're well. So this is Deco Arts, and this is Warm White. It's the white I really like. They have a cool white and a warm white, but I like the warm white better. Again, yeah, I think I'll get that. I'm gonna run out of 1/2 inchers here. And I'm gonna just start, again, if you're new, you just get a little bit of paint up on that tip of that brush, and then you're gonna start offloading to get it off. So we're gonna do, and this is his tongue here, a little bit of his tongue, I think. Is that his tongue? Yeah. So we're gonna start with the white here. In this one, you may have to be careful because I'm noticing as I go, you see how I'm putting my fingers down? These are longer bridges, so they're a little wiggly. So you may want to hold on to them. As you're swirling, you know, you could swipe if you wanted, but as you're swirling, these long ones you might want to hold on to. And lots of times I do put my fingers anyhow. Get his mustache there. But Jeff, he's not out here, so I can tell you. We're cutting like the last board on the deck today. On the top of it, we still have to do the steps. But he cut the first one and he cut it wrong, and I told him the ends of it, you need to come up about like this much. And because you had to cut it out to fit around the door. And I don't think he listened to me at all, because he went and he cut a second board. And he cut it the same exact way. And so he had to scrap 2 boards. And then the third time he finally got it, I was like, I was trying to tell you that's what to do. And of course, you know, him being a man, I could not have known that, you know. No, you weren't trying to tell me to do that, you know. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, yeah, I was. But you know how men are sometimes. Oh, that's awesome, Kim. Congratulations, yeah. Kim was our winner, I forgot. So if there's more people hopping on, I don't know. Make sure to sprinkle. This is the giveaway today. Peace, love, joy. It is stencil number 7138, and it's a 7.25 inch one. Beautiful buffalo check on it. And we will be pulling at the end of this live one lucky winner of that stencil. So that will be fun. And see, it just shifted there on me. So make sure those longer ones, see, I say make sure to do it and then I forget to do it. But we're gonna put this coat of white on here. And I think his eyebrows we're gonna have to get here too. Looking, I missed some hair right here. Oh, we need to get his little ball of his hat, you know, and that's where all the shading will come in. Let me see here. That's part of his face, I do believe. Oops, see, there's a little piece of red right there that I missed. This little piece right here. But you'll catch stuff that as you go get the brim of his hat. And I'm just going to swipe his eyebrows in there. And I'm not going to change brushes because I am going to paint this, so it's really not going to make a difference. We need to get down here. And then I think we'll do the holly leaves. And we'll come back and do the white again. We'll let the white dry. That way we don't have to waste time drying. If that makes sense. And I am going to, this is his furry coat down here. I do believe it's the fur trim on his, my picture didn't print out super good. So we'll do this in white as well. And this will all come down to like some shading too to make things look a little different. So that's the fur, you know, on his jacket. He's got that fur trim jacket. So I need to get a little dash of red right there where I missed. And that's going to happen. You're going to miss stuff. Hi, Jarita. So let me get this red one out. And I'll just pick up just a little bit of this Santa's red. And I'm going to kind of swipe it in there. I'll probably have to do another coat of that just because I didn't. I only did one coat there, but I'll try to remember that one. So let's get the green. So I'm going to use Holly Green, Deco Arts Holly Green. Thank you, Lita. I appreciate that. Now the center under his what? Me too, Denise. Yep, this one needs shaking up some more. So this is Deco Arts Holly Green. And boy, sometimes if they sit, yes, it does work really good in those small areas. And hopefully I didn't have any bleeding. Ooh, he's looking so cute. And then, like I said, once you get the shading, it's just like really something. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more out here. That's better. You know how the paint separates sometimes. That had separated. So I am going to get a 3/8 brush here. And that's another thing. If you do not have the Stencil Smith brushes, make sure to order them. They are absolutely amazing. And I think they make all the difference. So these holly leaves, I'm going to use Deco Arts Holly Green on. And I'm using the 3/8 brush. And yes, they have even these little micro ones that are 1/8 of an inch, and they are amazing. But this is such a beautiful, beautiful, the shading is what brings them to life. It really does. Yeah, the brushes are amazing, aren't they, Kim? They're the best I've ever used. April worked and worked on those until she found the ones that she really liked and she wanted. So let's get some green in there. There's a lot to think about when you do these, because not only do you want to think about like how you want to what colors you want to put down, but then you got to think about the shading and the hot, you know, and it's just dry brushing is all you use is a little bit of dry brushing to shade it, and it makes a huge difference. At least I think it makes a really, really big difference. It just makes it look like it's a stained glass window. And you can see how it's starting to fill in here, like your little paint by number kits you had as kids. Now, there was a time when I first started doing their lives, not to say that I'm not going to mess this up, because it can happen. You know, like when I say mess something up, like do something incorrect, paint something in the wrong place. I would have done this, a whole one of these ahead of time to practice for the live. But I've really learned to just go with it. And they're happy little surprises. I mean, I did plan the colors, so I went that far. But I didn't do a whole one before, which I would have done in the past. And let's get this holly green in there. Hopefully I'm keeping him. I just realized he's not in the camera again. He's starting to look rather Christmassy, isn't he? You know what? I think I need to go up maybe just a little bit, and he would be in the... Where's the... Oh, there we go. If I go up a little bit, I think I'll be able to, even though it's a little further away, I could keep him, the whole thing. The bigger the project is, the harder it is to keep it in the camera. But these are really easy to do. It just takes paint and a little bit of shading. And I did shading in a lot of different colors. You can just use like blacks and whites, a little bit of dry brushing. It just depends how much and how little that you want to do. But I thought this would be really appropriate. Santa Red and Holly Green. Can't be much more appropriate than that. So let's do another coat of white, guys. And then we'll get this around here, and we have to do his face. We have to do his eyes, and that's where the overlays are too. I had to think if I wanted him to have green eyes or brown eyes, but I did end up giving him green eyes. But they're not like holly green, so they're a little more realistic. So let's just start with this second coat here. Is that? No, that's his cheeks there. See, it's hard to tell sometimes. And I would recommend, see, I can't open my phone and look at my phone, but see, you could always look at your phone when you're doing this. You could print a picture out. The stained glass ones, I print a picture out, and then when I store my stencil, I store the picture with the stencil. And this is, again, those long bridges. And that's his tongue I keep going over, but that's okay. We'll get that later. I couldn't avoid it. And it really doesn't matter that I'm going over some of these areas in white. It just gives it a little bit more of a base coat. I am using warm white, Deco Arts warm white. And sometimes this is even harder for me because I am doing it upside down so it faces you. Some of these more challenging stencils, it's like, you know, rubbing your tummy and patting your head, that whole thing. It's his lip. Yeah, to me it looked like his tongue, but I guess it is his lip. I couldn't tell. It was just a little peak of like a kind of, It wasn't like that Santa red, but it was kind of like a pinkish color. I chose cinnamon slice or cinnamon something for it. I don't think I got in here. You can always tell where you missed. And again, it's going to be the highlighting that really makes this kind of pop, I think. So how many of you have gotten the Santa stained glass or intend to? As soon as I saw him, I knew I wanted him. I was like, oh, he's so cute. Santa's such a cute, he's a jolly old fellow, right? Oh, I gotta get his eyebrows again. And I don't care that I'm going wide on this. It doesn't matter, but there's his eyebrows. And what is this right here? That's part of his beard, I think, that I missed. Yeah, that's part of his beard, I think. Or his hair. There we go. See what I mean? You're gonna miss things. So let's go back and do another layer of the green. Get that holly on. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It would be cute to do with like a "We Believe" underneath it with the medium. "We wish you a Merry Christmas." Just anything like that would be so pretty. Like at the bottom. Like I said, that was my intention. But, silly me, I order doubles sometimes. Like I'm just not thinking sometimes. Or I think I'm thinking, but I'm overthinking it, or it's hard to tell. So if you do have to dry on these stencils, any of them, you can dry with your gun. I don't know why that's not taking any paint there. And you just want to move your gun around, your heat gun. You don't want to hold it in one spot. You want to hold it a little up from it. Yeah, this is a really, really pretty bright green. Nice Christmassy green. I mean, the colors kind of help me. Holly green and Santa red. You can't get much more help than that. I think I did a coat of green on that, but maybe I didn't. I might have missed that leaf and have to come back. Like I have to come back and do another coat of that red right there. Okay, let's go down here. And dry brushing is a wonderful way to add dimension to your projects. How many of you have a lot of shows coming up? Anybody have a lot of shows? I know a lot of you are getting ready. How do you get a discount? It is on sale. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. Oops. I appreciate you helping me out there. April's usually busy writing down all the sprinkles and answering questions and anything else she can do. And that's why, like I said, if I do miss anything or April misses something, make sure to message us, because we miss things. Number one, we're human. But number two, sometimes the comments go by so fast, and I'm painting, so every once in a while I look up and I see a comment, but I miss a lot. So thank you, Don. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Bonnie. And that's another thing. We have such a great group of people on here, just the nicest people. We have a group called If Judy Hasn't Told You About It. I don't know why paint didn't adhere right there. It's like it's got a resist on it. There, I'll just kind of stipple it in there a little bit and see if it adheres. But there's a great group called Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith. And make sure to join them. We share all our Stencil Smith projects on it. And I think I decided I'm going to go with Golden Straw here. No, that's Moon Yellow. Where's my Golden Straw? Golden Straw Deco Arts. Right there. I'm going to go with this for this inner part of the stained glass. But yeah, make sure to join our little group, Paint Share with Stencil Smith. It's just fun. You get so many ideas. Everybody's always willing to help people out. There's such beautiful stuff posted in there. It's really pretty. So again, I've offloaded and I'm going to start swirling this in here. And this will take a couple coats. This color might be more translucent than I thought. Okay. And this, because this is like that sand ply, it is really sucking the, I should have put some stuff down on it before I painted it black. But normal, like a 1x10. I've been using, if you want to spend a little bit of extra money, you know what this is? See, I think that's where I did mess up. This is part of this. I thought it was part of his fur on his coat, but I think this is probably part of that right there. So there we go. That's what I mean. It's just paint. If you mess it up, just paint over it. It's not a big deal. And that had 2 coats of white on it, so it went over really good. So let's go around here with this. We get all these colors in, then we can start doing the shading. We're getting close, guys, getting close. Okay, and this one up here, see, I almost missed one. Okay, see, we did that, and we're gonna do his face, everything. We're gonna do this flesh color, and then we'll do some shading with that. And again, put your brushes in a baggie so they don't dry out as you're doing this. Now his flesh color, I use a lot for my gnomes. The flesh color I use is Warm Beige in Deco Arts. So that's what I'm gonna use for his flesh. Yeah, Golden Straw is this one here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Warm Beige out here. I use that for all my gnomes, my little gnome, you guys. I love my gnomes. And I'm gonna pick up that Warm Beige again on my brush and offload it. And I'm just gonna this here, right there and there is going to need to be white too. Because that's his, see, his glasses are down on his nose. So right here and here are where these little half moons, like, that's where his eyes are going to be. So let's get this warm beige here. Get it kind of where we need it. And I am going to have to break out that smaller brush because I forgot, like, right here and here is going to be his eyes. You see the overlay is going to go in within that. It's going to be like the green color, and then you put his little pupil right in there. So those need to be white there. And like I said, it's just paint. You mess something up, you go back and you change the paint color. It's not a big deal. Definitely not the end of the world. So those are pretty dry, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to get some golden straw here. And I'm going to do a second coat of this. And I'm just offloading in between, and that's the key, like I said before, to not having bleeds, is to offload. I need to get a little bit more out here, some golden straw. And it covered real good down here. I had that 2 coats of white, real dark there, so it really covered well there. And we're gonna go around again. The last stained glass one I did, I believe, was the pumpkin with the sunflowers. That was so pretty. Such a beautiful, beautiful project. Okay, so I do need to get, I'm going to go over one more time with my flesh color, this warm beige. Glasses are at. That's going to be his eyes there. And you're going to do your shading with your stencil on. At least that's what I do. Okay. So I do need to dry that just a little bit. I'm going to get that white in there with a smaller one with one of those micro brushes. So see how I'm drying on that, but I'm moving it around. I'm not letting it stay in one place. It's raining in Southern California. Oh my goodness, that is weird. We need rain horribly. We did have like a ½ an inch about, or maybe a quarter of an inch on, I'm going to put a little bit more beige on there, October 7th, but that's like the only notable rain we've had. It's been so dry. We've had a dry summer, a dry fall, a beautiful fall. I mean, right now it's October. What is it? October 13th, 14th, October 14th. And I'm still wearing shorts because it's so nice out. It does get cold though as soon as the sun goes down. So I'm gonna get one of my little micro brushes out, and I am gonna give that a quick dry here. And again, just, you can dry it, just make sure you move it around. And I think I might do one more little quick coat on the yellow. So I'm gonna pick up that white, and this is one of those little micro brushes that we were talking about. See how small it is? It's just the daintiest little thing. It's really amazing for these tight little spaces. Like this is gonna be his eyes right here. So see how easy that is? You don't have to tape anything off. Just work that little micro brush in there. And then I'm gonna pick up a little bit more, and I'm gonna get his eyebrows. Again, a little bit. There we go. Okay. I feel like it's where I forgot part of it. Okay, so now let's see. I do want to hit this red again because I forgot that. I remember I only had one coat of red on that. We're almost ready to do some shading right there. Okay. See if anything else needs just a little dab. Got a little white there. And I want to do this yellow is still this golden straw. I want to do one more little coat of that. And of course we will shade that with some browns, I think. I put my colors like in pairs. The color I was going to use, the shading color. Let's just get this. That one definitely needs to be brighter. Okay. The one on the bottom does not. And these really are, the stained glass is thick enough where they're divided, so it's easy to get brushes in there. And then those micros are great for the areas. Like this is the 3/8 brush here, so. Okay. So I think we're ready to start. Let me take a peek. Oh, he's looking good, guys. He's looking good. Okay. So let me get another plate out here for the shading colors. And that's just basically going to be some dry brushing. And I think I'm going to start, we started with the red, so I think I'll start there. Now I did pick out this, where is it? Let me get a sip of water here real quick. This is where the magic happens with the stained glass too. I just got to get a sip of water there. I know I talk a lot and I apologize. So this is soft black. This has not been my favorite. It doesn't really focus real well. This has not been my favorite color because I bought it and I thought it would be like more of a charcoal, which is really more, this graphite is a little bit better. It's a very dark gray. But The reason I didn't really like this was because it had a little bit of purple, I thought, in it. Better put my overlay over here before I do lose it again. So I'm going to get a little bit of this out, and it's a black, but it's purpley. And I need to see here. This is what I love about the shop towels. Typically, I can get it opened up and flip it over, and then I've got the other side for it, like I just opened it up. So we've got this side. So I'm gonna get a brush, and I'll probably get, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch brush. Sorry, it was like I had a brain freeze there. And I'm gonna pick up this paint. Now, when you're dry brushing, what you wanna do is you wanna really, really, really offload that paint. And you could even use like an old towel or rag. That'll really offload it. So you wanna really dry brush. And I'm gonna start like highlighting this with the brush, just like in certain corners here, and it's like a purpley black. And when you do that with the stained glass, it really gives it a great look. And I'm going to turn this kind of sideways, guys. That's okay. I'll come down. I'll try to move it around. But you're just kind of going in the edges. You know, it's kind of like, it makes the darker color on the edges, it makes the color, like the red in the middle, it makes it kind of pop. Like it's brighter, like the sun's hitting it. That's what the shading does. But see how this is kind of like a plumish color? It's really not a soft black. And I like to do it kind of like in the edges or the corners. And then if you don't have enough, you can always go back and add more, but you're just kind of dry brushing those colors in there. And you just got to play with it. But when you use those colors, like I said, it makes it look like the rest of it's just popping. So we're just dry brushing that in. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see, is this, okay, my finger's there. So I'm just gonna kind of do like the edges around here. So I'm doing all the red, kind of just shading with it, with this soft black. Let's go down here. Oh, I gotta get over here. I haven't even been over here yet. So the shading, like I said, is really where the magic happens with the stained glass. I'm definitely gonna get there where I got the white on the, and I mean, I'm just being random. It's not like I know where the light's gonna hit or anything like that. So just play with it. It was a little too, pull it out. And if you get too much on, you can go back and use some red. Okay, gotta get down here and do a little bit of these berries. Okay, take a peek. But you can already, I don't know if you can see, if it's in focus, but see how that's already making that center kind of glow a little bit brighter. So let's go on and do the blue. I'm going to do the blue. Let me get another bag for my highlighting. Ooh, I don't want to put it in my Spanish moss. I know I have more bags here. And this will definitely be one, like I said, that's, now I'm going to use this blue. Blues and purples look so nice together. This purple iris, I think, is what I'm going to use. So Deco Arts Purple Iris. And I'm going to squirt some out. And get a brush. I think I'll get another 1/4 inch there, and I'm just going to pick it up and again offload. And I'm just kind of dry brushing that purple in there. And like I said, less is more. You can always go back and add. More, or if you don't like it, go back with the blue, blend it out. It's your art. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. To me, I don't think there are any rules. Art's very subjective. So we're just going around, and I'm mostly doing it like in the corners. Like adding, and when you dry brush stuff like this, even in your other stenciling projects, it really adds a lot of dimension to your projects. It's just a great way, and these stencil brushes are so great for that. I'm sorry guys, I know this is a long, long live. Let's see, I can't forget up here. And the thing with these dark projects is that it already takes you longer because you do have to base coat the whole thing. And we do have a show and tell at the end. But I think I'll just show like 1 or 2 things depending on the time, and then we'll pick the winner of the stencil, which make sure if you're just joining, to please make sure to sprinkle. Invite anybody you think who would like to craft. I mean, it's so fun. I think I told you we had our friends that got way too much. See, I just rubbed it out with my, it was not dry brushed enough with my finger. Wet Wipe's a great eraser. Okay, I think I need to get down here. I think we're going to be good on the purples, and now we've got the reds. Let's do the yellow. I think I was going to use a little bit of burnt umber on this yellow. So I'm squirting a little bit of that out. And getting a brush. Again, a 1/4 inch brush. And I'm going to dry brush it, or offload it there. I'm just kind of at the edges there. Coming down. Oh, we got to do the greens too. So we're basically just kind of highlighting like the edges and stuff like that. And when you do that, it really makes that middle look like it's the sun's coming through, popping through. Stained glass is so pretty. I know my friend Becca, she does stained glass. And then I have another friend who I actually ordered some, I mean, I'm talking actual stained glass, ordered plant stakes through for my daughter. I got a little bit too much on that, so I'm wiping it back with my finger. Okay, got the prayer. Let's do the green. I'm gonna do a really dark green. So this is such a bright green. I'm going to do this black forest green. Yep, shoot. I gotta really shake it here. You know what, I actually might take, let me try the soft black. I'm gonna try this soft black on the green. It looks okay. So I'm bringing that at the tips. And I'm just kind of bringing it, like I said, at the tips. Bringing it inward a little. Where'd that? Like I said, that's kind of like a purpley black. It's more like a plum to me than it is. got that. I did want to put a little bit, let's see, what brown. This is Sable Brown Deco Arts. And it's a lighter, much lighter than the Burnt Umber. And I'm again gonna get another 1/4 inch brush and offload. And I'm gonna kind of go, and I still gotta get his little lip or his tongue, whatever that is there. So I'm using that Sable Brown, and I'm just using that on that beard a little bit here. And again, I'm just offloading and I'm kind of bringing it down. And let's just kind of and then maybe down here at the end. So I'm doing it at all, like the tops of them, except for the bottom one. I'm doing it kind of at the tops, and the bottom I'm bringing it down. Ooh, this is his little, I'm just kind of willy-nilly going all over this guy. That is his little fur. Okay, so we got that. I need to put a little bit of a tongue in there. I need the micro. And I was gonna try, I don't feel like, or it's his lip or something. This cinnamon, I feel like it's too, this is Cinnamon Drop. That's for like his lip. It's too pink, I think. Maybe get a little bit of white. I'm gonna get a little bit of this red, the Santa's red with the white. And so it'll be a lighter red. Oh, I think that's better. That's the color I'm kind of looking for right there. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we got that. I kept forgetting about that guy. Okay, so let's do around his face. And I think I'll use the Sable Brown again. And I'm going to highlight around his face a little bit. And I'm doing this because the stained glass, you know how that is. It's not all like one color. And then when the light hits it also, That's his eye and his eyebrows. I'll put a little bit on his eyebrows. Just a wee little bit. His eyeballs, we still have to do with the overlay. I want to use a little bit of Moon Yellow, which is like my favorite highlighting. That's Golden Straw. Moon Yellow is a really good highlighter. And I'm going to squirt just a little bit out. And I am going to put a little bit in the middle of these leaves and maybe a little bit in his face too, just to like, and again, I'm really offloading that. And I'm just putting a little bit in the middle there, and it makes it kind of look like it's glowing. It's a really, really great highlighter. I'm going to kind of and you could also add some, ooh, that's way, way too much. I didn't offload enough. It just brightens it up. Just a wee little bit. Oh my gosh, guys, he's looking so cute. Put a little bit there on his, that thing I'm not satisfied with yet. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take it off. I do wanna add a couple little random snowflakes in here. We have to do his eyes. Oh, I think you guys are gonna really like this. I hope so. So let me, where'd my snowflakes go? I had some snowflakes here I grabbed, and I just thought I would randomly, let's pull him off. You guys ready? He's so cute. He still needs his eyes. But what do you think? I'm so pleased. What do you guys think so far? How pretty is he? So we still have to put his eyeballs in there and everything. But do you like that? Give me some hearts if you like it. What do you think? So I'm going to add some snowflakes here. I'm going to get my white paint and my white brush. And I'm going to add a couple random snowflakes here in the sky. Let me put it down here. And I think I ended up getting a little white brush. Oh, that's way too little. The micro. Okay. So I am going to get, I'm going to pick up some white. And I'm just going to randomly like add a couple snowflakes here and there. Like the snow's falling. Ah. My goodness. I'm gonna put one more down here. maybe one here-ish. So I added a couple little snowflakes there, which I think look so cute. Just little random ones. Let's do his eyeballs. So let me get, I decided to do his eyes. So this is the overlay. So you can see the overlay here. There's a bigger and a little. So this bigger is going to be the color of his eyes, and you're going to lay it right there in his eyes. And I'm going to do green eyes for him. I decided on light avocado. So he is going to have light avocado eyes. And this one's really separated. Some of these are so separated. You got to just about hurt your wrist. Come on. You know how you don't use them for a while. And they're really, really separated. Okay, and I just need, I get a brush here, and I'm going to offload. And if it's still separated too much, this color's not showing up very good. So I'm just, I think my comments are froze. There we go. Let me see. I don't know why. There we go. Well, that was a bugger. Okay, so now he's got some pretty green eyes, and those are avocado eyes. Or maybe kind of hazily looking they look. I'm going to give them a little blow dry here. And then I am going to put his little pupil in. And I need a black for that. And I do have some black here. And I'll just get a little micro brush out for that. Oh my goodness. I can get the paint right off my thumb. Okay. So let's just get the black in there. I don't know if I have to do 2 coats. No, I think that's okay. So we're gonna pull that up. So he's got his eyes now. I don't know, do you like that color, the green, or would you have done them in blue? Okay. Don't know why I had to get paint. I went all the way to the end and coated in paint. And then you can take a little stylus. Where's my little itty bitty one? Little itty bitty one, and you could dip it in some white. Nope, that's the wrong plate. Dip it in some white paint here. And just dot his pupil. Give him a little twinkle there in his eye. Just like so. So, do you like that? What do you girls think? Should I add more snowflakes? I don't know. I'm not seeing comments anymore. I may have to do them across my phone because we're going to have to, there we go. I can see them on my computer at least now. But I think he turned out really, really cute. So see his green eyes there? And he's got a little, you put that little, little bitty dot there, and it just gives him a little twinkle in his eyes. But I'm going to bring it up and show you, I guess. So see how I put that yellow in the green, and see how that kind of just brightened it right in the middle. And but I really like it. I'm so pleased with it, and I'm so glad I went with that blue. That blue turned out really pretty. So yeah, so I'm very, very happy with them. The stained glass, you're always like, ooh, I don't know, you know, but then once you get done with it and you put all that little bit of highlighting in it, it just is amazing. And I will be posting, I'll download this after the live and I'll post it on my YouTube channel, because sadly, when Facebook now only allows you to keep your lives on here for 30 days. So say you get this stencil and you think more snowflakes are needed, I might pop a couple more in after the live. And again, this was the large. I would get the medium if you want to do it on a 1x12. But if you want to build a frame and use sand ply, I used a large, but I would definitely, thank you, April, I would definitely use a medium. Because this is the difference. I had this sitting around because I was shipping the other side to my son. And so I already had this made, but I ordered the wrong size. I meant to order a medium. So this you have to cut because the stencil is too big for a 1x12. So this is on a 1x12. This is, whoops, this is the cardinal that we did. And the cardinal is a medium. But I would definitely order the medium. Otherwise, you're going to have to get a piece of sand ply. Don't get a large like I did. That was a mistake on my part. This is a medium. This is on a 1x12, and you can even add a nice saying like Merry Christmas, or He Believe, or We Believe, or you know, something like that on the bottom of your Santa if you wanted. I mean, this is gorgeous, but you would have to make a frame. So, yes, the cardinal is medium. To show you the difference, because I have, so this is the Santa, so this is the large, this is the medium, this is the stained glass, which I haven't done, which now I really want to do badly. This is the stained glass Halloween one. And see how this would fit perfectly on this 1x12. See, you need that frame around it. So make sure you get a medium. Don't get a large like me. I got a large by accident and had to improvise. So otherwise you'll be making your own frame. And if you want to do that, that's great. That's fine. But I would recommend a medium if you want it on a 1x12, and you need that black around it to make it pop and look like it's a stained glass window. Do I have a video? I do not yet. So I need to. It's basically, it's a 1/4 inch sand ply from Home Depot, and it is a 1x2, and I routered the inside edges so it would snug right in there. But like I said, unless you want to take up like routering, or you could order it somewhere, But I can't guarantee it could be any time in the like near future. But I can try to do a frame sometime. It's just I'm really slammed right now. Thank you, Pete. Pete is awesome. Pete's the one who designed this, so he deserves like a lot of the credit, and then April as well for choosing such beautiful colors. But let me show you a couple. But again, this is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off, and you can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNCHECK, SIGN, and anything else you order also will be 15% too. So make sure to use that code so you get that extra 15. You'll be getting 35% off it. And let me, where am I? Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of stencils here. Let's see. I'll grab this batch here. So these are a couple that I recently got in an order, and I'll do the same thing again. I'm going to get one of my black books to lay them on and angle it down, because we'll have show and tell and then we'll pick the winner. How does that sound? So I'm going to angle it down, and Pete does, and he's done all the stained glass ones. So I'm going to show you these couple ones. And I don't know about you, but I'm a person who likes to get the free shipping. So I always order till I get free shipping. Otherwise, I feel like I'm giving away stencil money. So this is stencil 2961, and this is I saw that Santa. So you know Santa's always watching. So I saw that Santa. How cute is that? And that is a small, and that's number 2961. And again, like I said, make sure to order the medium for the 1x12. I don't want anybody to be disappointed or upset that it won't fit on a 1x12, and they'll have to go out and buy special wood. So this one I got because I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. This is number 209. This is a very old one, but this is true. Ask my grandkids and they'll tell you. Grandmas are Santas all year long. How cute is that? Excuse me, let me get another sip of water. I've been talking for almost 2 hours. Geez Louise. So grandmas are Santas all year long, and that's just super cute. And you know we are. Although, in my case, I at least put my foot down occasionally. My husband, Papa thinks we're millionaires when it comes to the grandkids. You know how that is. So this is so cute, and I saw Judy Rogers did it the other day on Paint and Share with Stencil Smith. It's number 2912, and it's an 11.25 inch one. But is that not adorable? And she did such a cute job on it, but I think it's such a cute stencil. This house is under ELF surveillance. This house is under ELF surveillance, and I thought that was adorable. So I am going to set that to the side too. And I just got a couple more here, and we're gonna pick the winner. 2 more, and these would be, well, neither one of these would be good underneath Santa, but there are some you could use, like even Merry Christmas. So this is Hello Winter. This is number 5314. Look at the font on that. That font is just absolutely beautiful. Hello Winter, which I'm not ready for winter at all. So it looked like it was fun, Judy. I want to do that really badly. Okay, so, and then this last one I'm going to show is Winter Blessings. This is number 2425. And again, I'm a sucker for the font. Lots of times April does the font herself. And just look how pretty that is. All those random beautiful snowflakes around it. This would be so pretty with that, the glass snow. I forget what it's called. Oh my goodness, diamond dust. That would be so pretty with diamond dust around it. Or some glitter paint, galaxy glitter paint or something like that. But it's just a beautiful stencil. So I'm going to set that aside. So those are the couple I'm going to show you today. I have more. I think I grabbed the wrong stack that I wanted to show you, but they're all good. So we're going to draw right now for the winner of this stencil right here. So peace, love, joy. This is the stencil. Oh, I'm so glad, Cheryl. You're going to have so much fun with it. You have the same problem with my Papa? Yeah, Papa thinks Papa's not the one who pays the bills. Grandma's bad, but Papa's like, yeah, the sky's the limit. So number 7138, and it's a 7.25 inches, but this is just gorgeous. Peace, love, joy, which we need a lot of. Sherry's doing our drums, which is awesome. But thank you so much for joining. If you're new, please let me know. Please make sure to follow the Stencil Smith, and make sure to follow me, Chardon Sign Shack. I don't think I've said it once in this video, but I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith, and I am so proud to be so. They're amazing people to work for and work with. So April is spinning the wheel, and we're going to have a winner here. Excuse me. In a minute. It landed on Patty Reetz. So Patty Reetz, Patty R-E-E-T-Z. Oh, thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. That means an awful lot to me. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week. We have another fun live scheduled next week. I'm so glad that you could join us to do the Santa stained glass, and that it turned out how I envisioned it. You never know sometimes when you're doing stuff. But you have a great, great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.